Tomorrow at 6 and 11 on your TV2 News, I'll have a special report on the Ark Coffee House in Ann Arbor. The significance of the Ark can be measured in praise from folk music performers all over the world. Audience and performers agree there's no place in the country like the Ark where man's musical heritage is preserved. For 13 years, the nonprofit coffee house has been visited by the famous and the not-so-famous. Thanks to the diligence of producer Al Petras and several thousand feet of excellent film, we'll be able to take you inside the Ark tomorrow at 6 and 11 on your TV2 News.
To music and laughter, she danced up and down, said loudly the cheering would waken the dead. Of course, the old bear...
The Ark in Ann Arbor is a place unknown to the public at large. It keeps an important part of our culture alive, traditional folk music. Yet the Ark faces the possibility of financial collapse all the time. And that's why you're about to see, hear, and feel the Ark. On a quiet evening in late summer, one might imagine the shade trees on Ann Arbor's Hill Street inspired the very name of this college town. Almost hidden by a tall hedge is this beautiful century-old house. For 13 years, this has been the Ark Coffee House. It is the namesake of Noah's prehistoric vessel which preserved mankind from the Great Deluge. The Ark is a haven which shelters mankind's musical heritage from a deluge of commercialism. That heritage is preserved here by performers who have gathered samples of social history in traditional music, lyric, and dance.
And I went to a dance one night in old Tumbes. There were lots of fine girls there, fine as you'd wish. There was a one pretty maiden chewing tobacco, just like a young kitten chewing fresh fish. We're ant and we'll roar like true Yankee whalemen. We're ant and we'll roar on deck or below until we sight they head off old Martha's Vineyard. Straight up the channel to New Bedford we'll go. We will steer, for Greenland is a barren place, a place that's seldom green, where there's ice and snow and the whale fishes blow, and the daylight seldom seen. Brave boys, and the daylight seldom seen.
It is not just the old house that creates the right atmosphere for traditional music to survive. It is also the people who gather here to become a true part of the folk celebration. Part of the audience returns week after week, year after year, much the same as the performers who are their favorites.
It's probably one of the best coffee houses in North America.
You can really get away from like the peer pressure that you get in a lot of other social situations. The music's fantastic. The people are really relaxed. Like sometimes you can be here and feel like you're alone, and sometimes you can be here and feel, you know, like you're in a family.
I really enjoy a lot of different kinds of folk music, and the Ark has a real variety, and there's nowhere else you can hear music like this around here. It's a real special place.
I've been coming here for about 4 years now, and it's almost a home away from home.
It's a place to see my friends and to feel a place of community that you don't get if you go to a bar to listen to music or to a large concert and listen to music with your friends. And this is the type of music that you would like to listen to with your friends.
This music, it's like listening to music in someone's living room, you know. It's not music to make money, it's just music to make music.
The list of musicians Dave and Linda Siglin have booked for the Ark is long. Some are famous, others are not.
The people that we have here musically are as good as the named performers. I mean, they might not be as slick because a named performer, again, is used to doing a 30-minute show, period, and they can do it in their sleep.
Right.
They do the same show over for 9 months solid, every night.
Somebody like Maria Muldaur, when she came here
This was the last club she played.
Right, the last club before she made it very good. Right. And then, like, we've had a lot of her sidemen back to play here alone, you know, which is another way that we help those, because a lot of the backup musicians in the big bands are equally as good as the person that's right out in front.
Opening night performers this season, John Roberts and Tony Barrand, have a repertoire that reflects their native English heritage and includes American song versions. Traditional music is very important to them for two principal reasons. Tony explains.
One, the immediate sharing, fun quality of the songs, and the other being that it sends you back and it tells you about people, about your own people, about the people among whom you live, if you like, the social history of them. And that's really, both those qualities are incredibly important and not found really in any other sorts of music.
Nowhere else in the world can John and Tony find an atmosphere and audience so conducive to a good performance as they find here at the Ark.
It's in many ways the single best place to come and play for us and for a lot of musicians in the country, because the audience is expecting and ready for and knowledgeable about the kind of music that we play, namely a music which is in and of its essence a sharing music.
Performers and audience agree the Ark in large measure is Dave, Linda, and Anya Siglin. Dave and Linda manage the Ark and live here with their daughter. Each year they fight a financial battle to keep the Ark afloat. The Coffee House is a non-profit organization sponsored by 5 Ann Arbor churches, but church subsidies, occasional support from public grants, and receipts from patrons are not enough to maintain the Ark.
The performers like John and Tony and a lot of those people have done benefits for us. Because we're in financial difficulty a lot of the time.
There was one year.
It's real rough sailing.
There was one year when 80% of the music we put on was a benefit.
Yeah.
Last year, the University of Michigan Major Events Office worked closely with Dave and Linda Siglin to organize a benefit concert in a campus auditorium. The proceeds from that show temporarily brightened the Ark's financial picture, but this year such a concert is not possible. A developing university policy says all legitimate campus groups may apply for a share in profits from all major concerts, which must be produced by the Major Events Office. For the moment, this prevents Dave and Linda from organizing a large-scale concert in a campus auditorium for the exclusive benefit of the Ark. So in the next 12 months, the Ark must raise $12,000 from private sources in order to survive.
If it's so difficult to receive money to operate a place like the Ark, it's no wonder that there are a few places like this in the country. But do you ever have thoughts about how long such a place can survive if people don't pump support into it?
Sure.
Well, I'd never give up. We'll never give up. I mean, trying to keep something like this going. I mean, I think it's valuable for the community. They need it. People need a place.
The future of the Ark is uncertain. Throughout 13 years, it has somehow managed to survive with the same tenacity as the traditional music that flourishes here. However, the Ark is in greater financial trouble now than ever before, and this may compel Dave and Linda to alter the Ark's programs. So the Ark Coffee House may change from one year to the next, just as traditional music changes from one generation to the next. But no matter what those changes may be, many people in Ann Arbor and elsewhere hope that the Ark remains as friendly and lively and enjoyable as the music it presents.
He rolled his dark eye as he spied the she-bear, and with an embrace they danced jigs pair and pair. The cheeses of Cheshire are famed, but beware of stories they tell of the Congleton. Oh, the cheeses of Cheshire are famed, but beware of stories they tell of the Congleton bear. Congleton bear, Congleton bear, they sold the church Bible to buy a new bear. Oh, the cheeses of Cheshire are famed, but beware of stories they tell of the Congleton bear. Congleton bear, Congleton bear, they sold the church Bible to buy a new bear.
In biblical times, the Ark was the vehicle that saved Noah, his family, and the animals of the world. Today in Ann Arbor, the Ark is the vehicle that's saving American folk music. It's not well known to the public at large, but folk music performers around the world hold the Ark in high regard. Producer Al Petras, cameraman Bud Johnson, and reporter Ron Sanders put together a special report to show you why.
Seldom do we find live entertainment in a truly relaxing atmosphere, but we can find it here at the Ark Coffee House on Hill Street in Ann Arbor.
Oh, the wake's coming on and the berry took ill. We tried him with potion, with brandy and pill. He died. died in his sleep at the eve of the wakes, 'cause it was said was strong ale and sweet cakes. The cheeses.
The Ark is one of only a few places in the country that regularly offer traditional folk music. Opening night performers this season were John Roberts and Tony Barrett. They value the Ark because it emphasizes the importance of the music and the audience. Tony explains.
The way that the singer sings a song is picking up on what they're getting from the audience and how the audience is part of it, so that unlike most forms of popular music or even classical music, where you're putting something across to be listened to be listened at, if you like, in the folk singing, and this is one reason the Ark is so special in this respect, you're surrounded, you're very close to people who are part of the event.
And the people in the audience enjoy this intimacy and the opportunity to participate.
It's just a great place to listen to the music and enjoy the people.
I think it's wonderful. I love folk music and I love what they're doing here. I love the people they have and I love the people who are here.
It's a nice alternative to have to some of the other places around town.
And as long as there are people like these who realize the importance of preserving traditional music, the Ark will continue to offer a thoroughly relaxing atmosphere in which to enjoy the discovery of our musical heritage.
And the harpoon it struck and the line paid out, but she gave a flurry with her tail, and our boat capsized. We lost 5 men, and we never caught that whale.
Brave boys, and we never caught that whale.
Now the losing of that sperm whale fish.
The feathers will fly in Farmington this weekend. We'll show you why after this.
John Roberts and Tony Barrett are 2 Englishmen who met in the United States in the late 60s. Since then, they've been delighting audiences like this on both sides of the ocean with their traditional singing, playing, and dancing. I'm Ron Sanders. Join me at the Ark Coffee House here in Ann Arbor for an interesting evening with John Roberts and Tony Barrett. Be able to hear the Highwood String Band anywhere in the Detroit area but here at the Ark Coffee House in Ann Arbor. I'm Ron Sanders. We'll take you to the Ark for an evening of traditional music performed by uniquely talented artists, some of whom are internationally famous, some you may never have heard of before. Detroit is a good music town. There are many places where we can go and enjoy live rock and roll, jazz, or even classical music. But there are few places in the country like this where traditional music is performed. I'm Ron Sanders. Join me at the Ark Coffee House here in Ann Arbor for an evening filled with traditional music in a unique and friendly atmosphere. This 100-year-old house on Hill Street in Ann Arbor has delighted audiences for 13 years with traditional music. This is the Ark Coffee House. I'm Ron Sanders. Join us to learn more about this mecca for folk musicians from around the world.
Or in chokey I'd be, and we'll rant and we'll roar, like true Yankee whaling, and we'll rant and we'll roar, on deck or below, until we sight gay head of home.
When Ron Sanders first told us about the Ark Coffee House in Ann Arbor 6 months ago, the unusual gathering spot was under a cloud of financial trouble. Ron tells us the unique entertainment there is the same, but the outlook there now is much brighter.
Everything about the Ark Coffee House contributes to a unique musical experience. The beautiful, comfortable old house, the talented performers, the attentive audiences, and the Ark's managers, Dave and Linda Siglin, whose warm, informal hospitality creates an atmosphere in which traditional music can easily flourish. The Ark Coffee House is a non-profit organization sponsored by 5 Ann Arbor churches. Back in September, the Ark required $12,000 to stay open the rest of the season, above and beyond church subsidies and projected door receipts. Funding from other sources seemed unlikely. 2 grants of previous years had not been renewed. Because of developing University of Michigan guidelines for use of campus auditoria, it seemed impossible to organize a major campus concert for the Ark, such as one staged in 1976. It also seemed unlikely any major benefactors would appear. So, with $3,000 in debts and $12,000 to raise for the coming year, Dave and Linda reopened the Ark in September after summer break.
Pills, potion and brandy induced a deep trance, and refreshed by the music he began for to dance. He danced down the road causing many a gaze. Word quickly spread that the old bear was raised. The cheeses of
Since September, a number of promising developments have brightened the Ark's financial picture. The coffee house will receive a $6,500 grant this year from the National Endowment for the Arts to present a series of old-time singers from the state of Michigan. It now seems likely that some sort of major concert will be organized for the benefit of the Ark. And door receipts last fall were better than anticipated. Dave Siglin says the TV2 special report in September brought several people to the Ark for the first time and prompted a number of modest donations from patrons who were formerly unaware of the financial needs of the coffee house. And so, for a while longer, the Ark will continue to offer a thoroughly relaxing atmosphere in which to enjoy the discovery of our musical heritage. Ron Sanders, TV2 News, reporting.
The Pistons are down, but they're not out. They won today.